If I were to ask, how did Jesus refer to himself? The answer might surprise you. In fact, I asked my congregation on Sunday, how did Jesus refer to himself? And I got a lot of good answers. I'm the way, the truth, the life. I'm the light of the world. I am the door. I'm the gate. I am all of these things, the bread of life. All of that's true, but it pales in comparison to the one thing he called himself over and over, and that was the Son of Man. And it turns out that he was quoting from Daniel 7, verses 13 and 14. And Daniel 7, 13 through 14 reads like this. I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven, there came one like a Son of Man. And this was written in Aramaic, this chapter, and that is Bar Enosh. We're going to come back to that. There came one like a Son of Man. Jesus was speaking Aramaic when he taught, and he used the term Bar Enosh from this verse. And he came to the Ancient of Days, God that he called Abba, or Father, and was presented before him. And to him, to the Son of Man, was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. That's what Jesus was saying about himself when he used the term Son of Man. He wasn't using it like a humble term. Oh, I'm just the son of a man. I'm just human. I'm just all that stuff. Because people get confused about the fact that Son of Man in the New Testament is the same phrase in English as two different terms in the Old Testament. In the book of Ezekiel, the term is Hebrew. Ezekiel's written in Hebrew, and it's Ben Adam, son of the earth, or really humble title, salt of the earth kind of thing. And an angel was kind of dragging Ezekiel along like an errand boy, like a scribe, and saying, Son of man, dirt boy, write this stuff down, son of the dirt, Ben Adam. Well, Ben Adam is translated into English as Son of Man, and Bar Enosh in the book of Daniel is a whole different term. It's the son of humankind. It's the product of the human race. It is the son of the soul. It's an elevated title. It's the opposite of a humble title. It's the one to whom the Ancient of Days gives all glory and honor and all of those things, and his kingdom will have no end. So when Jesus was saying, I'm the Bar Enosh, that's why he got crucified. And it's the thing that bothered the religious authorities the most, because he says, I outrank you. I have more authority than you do. And they were saying, well, tell us plainly, are you the Messiah? This was in the book of Matthew. He says, well, that's what you say, but I'm way bigger than that. I'm way bigger than that, because you're going to see the Son of Man coming in glory and power in the clouds. And that's when they decided, they tore their clothes and said, that's it. We have to put this person to death. Was Jesus the Messiah? Of course he was. But not just that. Messiah is a lowly term compared to the Son of Man. There's lots of messiahs in the Bible. Saul was a Messiah. Mashiach, the one who's anointed. Mashiach means the one who's anointed. Samuel anointed him to be king. And he anointed David to be king. And all the kings of Israel each one was a Mashiach, was a Messiah. And that line was cut off in 587 BC, about 400 years after Saul, David, about 4 centuries. And they'd had kings on the throne all this time. And that's when the messianic hope started to arise in Israel. They believed that God's promises must still be true, even though there is no king sitting there. So they started to trust in this king that would come and restore Israel. But what Jesus is saying is, well, Messiah, fine, but I'm much bigger than that. He tended to bristle when people asked him if he was the Messiah. He would be evasive. And he was also that with the son of David. When he was called the son of David, he would say, hey, how can I be the son of David? Because David calls him Lord in Psalm 110. I am above David. I'm not another David. I'm not David 2.0. I am bigger than that. I'm not here just for the Jewish people. I'm here for the entire human race, all peoples everywhere, the whole thing. And this is what got Stephen killed. In the early church, Stephen was making this great speech about the whole salvation history of Israel in Acts 7. And he gets to the end and says, hey, I see the clouds of glory there in the presence of God, and I see the Son of Man coming on the clouds. And that's when they picked up rocks, or that's actually when the rocks started to fly. and kill him. And so we look at the offensiveness of Jesus and calling himself the Son of Man over and over and over again. Was he the Messiah? Sure he was. But he wasn't the predecessor to Netanyahu and David 2.0. He was much bigger than that. And that's why the people turned on him. His poll numbers were very, very high on Palm Sunday. Hosanna to the Son of David. Hey, this person's going to reestablish the throne in Jerusalem. And Jesus ends up saying toward the end of the week, my kingdom is not of this world. And he disappointed a lot of people. And the rocks weren't flying. Instead, he was crucified. And so when we look at Jesus, we have to take seriously the claims put on him. And so many scholars who are, overeducated or whatever, tend to think that Jesus was just a peaceful teacher that we turned into a god. No, Jesus gave himself divine authority every time he used the phrase Son of Man. The question is, what are we going to do about it? In John chapter 3, it says this, the Father loves the Son and has given all things into his hand, which is once again an allusion to Daniel 7:13 and 14. Whoever believes in the Son has eternal life. Whoever does not obey the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God remains on him. Jesus was very clear in saying that he was the Bar Enosh, the Son of humankind, the Son of the soul, the great one that was given all of the authority by the Creator of the world. The question is, what are you and I going to do about that? That's the good news for today. I'll talk to you again real soon.